All right, look, obviously the world's burning around us. People are waking up. Big changes are happening. Let's take a look at what's happening in 2020 alone. A major Iranian general got killed due to a US drone strike, causing a World War panic. Kobe died in a very tragic, shaking the world helicopter crash. The Australian brush fire. I know a lot of you guys saw videos about this. Millions of locusts swarming East Africa. Obviously, the coronavirus pandemic is just kind of changing how the way we communicate amongst the community and public. Racial injustices are occurring and being exposed all over the United States, leading to huge protests and riots that are happening right now. Even in Miami, there's literally a curfew text there's a curfew now in Florida. I think that's really crazy. 2020 has literally shaken our understanding of what it means to be safe. People are starting to wake up and direct action is being taken against the ruling powers. And I think that's a really good thing. And I think, it's obviously positive, but I'm afraid we might be playing the wrong game. Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another cryptocurrency video. And today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. Okay, guys, look, this is a major, guys, there's these ruling powers that are doing things that we cannot anticipate, right? There's these huge people with a lot of money, a lot of power that manipulate. They're kind of just pulling the strings, kind of like a puppet master. And you guys got to understand that, yes, the riots, everything that's going on, people kind of looting stores and showing them, hey, we have power too as a people, as a collective. We can change things. I think that's very, very positive. But you got to understand that they have military, they have more guns, they have more power. And this is kind of like a drop in the bucket compared to what's really going on. If anything, a lot of people will even say that the riots were invoked by the police so that they could have more physical control, right? So this is a game of chess, not checkers. There's really two ways that they control us. Obviously, the physical power, like through the military complex, Navy, National Guard, everything like that. That's the physical part. And keep in mind, that's limited. That's obviously limited. They can't just do everything and anything. This is a democracy. Like, we're not in China or something like that. People are not directly controlling us. We have freedom, right? We have freedom, and physical power can't be manifested. But if you guys give them that play, you're giving them that play. A lot of people are kind of just, doing everything in their power, looting, blowing up cop cars. And in doing so, you're actually setting pace for them to be able to take more control, right? There's that way where you guys can try to fight fire with fire, and their fire is 10 times, 50 times much bigger. Or there's another way, right? There's potentially another way where we can take the secondary power, which is monetary control, monetary power, the communication of value, right? Me being able to communicate with somebody else for them offering me a service. We could take that power away from them. Okay, and how? We can do it through decentralization. Okay, what do I mean by that? We can do it through the law of Bitcoin. And I'm going to talk about that in this video. For the new people that don't know anything about Bitcoin, guys, this is going to be a video you can watch to potentially break out of the current system. Okay, break out of the current system and join the free market of cryptocurrency, the world currency. It's not a United States currency, it's a world currency. Okay, where it's mathematics law and everything is verified, public, open, and transparent with the blockchain. If you already know about Bitcoin, we're gonna be talking about some bullish case scenarios and macro conditions that I've been looking into that's kind of mind-blowing and alerting for the next BTC bull run. So this is a video for everybody. But if you haven't already subscribed to the #1 cryptocurrency YouTube channel on the internet, guys, my name is Alex. Nice to meet you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the push notification bell so you can get videos like this all the time. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but people tend to make some money on some of the things I might have said, and people tend to follow because I follow everything up with facts. Okay, guys? So let's jump into the video. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, of course, the riots, right? Things are getting crazy. There's definitely injustices all across the world. Definitely racism apparent in the United States. This is what it was founded on, right? Slavery and everything like that. But this is not a video for that. What I want to talk to you guys about is I want to talk about other plays that can potentially be taken to, get these higher powers, offset everything to build a better free market, right? Bitcoin is definitely that solution, and I'm going to be talking about why. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to understand is right now, Bitcoin, for the first time in history of cryptocurrency, there's potential. Now, there's not enough data. I can't officially say it, and put it in a stone, but Bitcoin is essentially decoupling from the United States stocks, S&P 500, oil prices. what that basically means is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies was essentially reliant on the economy doing well. When the S&P 500 rises, when people start getting confident and bullish in stocks, the Bitcoin will fall after. Now, of course, Bitcoin would always dominate and do higher percentages than the stock market and everything like that. But we were still reliant. Now, there's a lot of people talking about it. For the past month or so, we have officially been decoupling from these, traditional financial instruments. We have kind of set our own pace for our own asset, like real asset class. And what does that mean? What that basically means is, like I told you, there's two forces. There's the physical force that you're giving them the play. You're giving them the card, right? But there's also invisible forces, like how they're taking advantage of your bank account savings. They're taking advantage of your purchasing power. If you're saving money, right? If you have any type of, job where it's minimum, like just think about it. If they're hyperinflating the dollar and they're printing a whole bunch of money, okay, and you're making a certain wage, but if your wage doesn't increase, if you don't get a bonus for whatever amount of years and inflation's at 6 to 10% this year, then essentially your salary or whatever you're getting paid, whether it's, minimum wage, whatever, is worth less money. Okay. So they're taking advantage of you in other ways. Remember, money it's assigned value. It doesn't really mean anything. What money is to people is freedom. If you have a lot of money, you're able to do things, right? For example, me, I'm a business owner and I hire somebody because I don't want to do the physical labor, right? Like say hypothetically, I don't want to, write a script or something, or I don't want to write an article. I could hire a writer to do it for me and it frees up my time. Time is money. It's literally a physical representation of money and freedom. And when you're working your job and you're saving your money, the whole point is essentially you're saving your time. So when you get out of the job and you retire, you have a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of time to do whatever you want, right? That's the whole purpose. And if you can't do that, if time is not physically worth actual money, right? If people are taking advantage and hyperinflating the dollar and the dollar is losing value, then essentially you're losing time, which is called modern day slavery. If you are losing time and you're trying to save it and there's no medium of exchange to properly save your time, you are technically being enslaved. It's modern slavery. So the thing about these two paths, I was telling you about these two controls of power, right? And I'm not, the revolutionary anarchist guy that's going to take down the government. And that's not my goal here. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that there's two ways. Like I told you, the physical way, they will completely dominate us. But the other way, which is adopting a new financial system, could potentially offset this power, because now you have a whole bunch of people that maybe either potentially invested early in crypto or they have a good job, whatever the case is. Money is power. And if you have the money, then you could take over the power. The reason why the United States government is so powerful because they spent all the money on the guns, the ships, all that stuff, the people, they're spending the money. So let's go to the second one. This is what I'm basically trying to say. Let's go for the money supply. Let's try to start a new financial, system. And by the way, guys, it's already starting, without you if you're not already in cryptocurrency, right? The decoupling, like I said, this is the first time ever we're not reliant on the stock market. We're not reliant on what goes on in traditional finance. It's doing its own thing. That's extremely important, all right? And due to the recent, coronavirus and everything like that, the economy it's taken a big hit. And the only way they're kind of offsetting this is by printing a lot of money. Now, keep in mind, the economic system is essentially like riding your bike, right? You have to gain momentum. And what I see is, obviously in the United States, they're letting people out. You're allowed to go in public. The stores are opening, businesses are opening, and that's going to help the economy. But keep in mind, it's supposed to be a pump brake solution. So essentially what's happening is they're opening it up. And then if there's another wave of coronavirus, they're going to shut down the economy again. And they're going to keep opening it and shutting it. So not only do we have to gain back the momentum, the economy has a momentum mechanism, right? You can't just turn the switch on and everything goes back to normal. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. Unemployment is the highest it's ever been ever in the history of the United States, right? The same thing across the world. There's unemployment rampant right now. People are not working jobs. And the fact that they open the economy, not everybody is even going back to work. A lot of people are staying home. A lot of people still are not buying food to go out. People are saving their money. They're not buying luxury goods anymore, right? They're saving just in case something happens, right? You can see that there's been the biggest run on guns in the history of the United States. People are getting scared. People are scared of the economic conditions right now. So the pump brake solution is the best we got right now, but it's not going to start the economy back up. And the reason why I say that is because we can see that in other G20 currencies across the world, right? If I come over here, you can see in Argentina that they hyperinflated their dollar. It's literally worth less than what it was like a month ago, far less. That's what hyperinflation is. So look at, and localbitcoins.com, if I copy the price of how much they're literally charging this much, was that $1,167,225 or Argentinian pesos for one Bitcoin, and we do the conversion here. If I just paste that in there, you can see one Bitcoin is going for $17,000 on local Bitcoin. And in the world, it's only like, what, $9,500 at the time me making this video. You can clearly see there's a massive demand in this country because their dollar, like I told you guys, your savings are being, diluted. It's literally like, I want you to think about, having like a cup of juice and you put like the sugar in there or whatever, and it tastes really sweet and good. And it's, a lot of people like, of course, sugary juice. It tastes great. But then when you pour that in a pitcher of water, the water doesn't taste as good. It tastes like a watered down juice. That's essentially what's happening with, people's savings, with people's minimum wage, with people's salary. That's exactly what's happening. The salaries are not increasing that much, and the dollar's losing its value. This is what you call hyperinflation. And then obviously we can see an aggressive version and other G20 currencies across the world. But keep in mind, guys, G20 currencies is essentially the top 20 world fiat currencies, which one of them's Argentina. Keep in mind that they're all pegged to the US dollar, right? So what does that mean? The US is literally printing more money to help, their economies. And you can see that the central bank swap right here on March 19th, 2020, the New York Fed entered its temporary US dollar liquidity arrangements or swap lines with the Reserve Bank of Australia. They're going to other places across the world, Brazil, Denmark. They're putting up, look, $60 billion each for the Reserve Bank of Australia. Right? They're trying to prop up other parts of the world, right? The US dollar demand is extremely high. These countries need more US dollars, okay? And I'm gonna show you how this plays out. Now, as obviously labor has been decreasing, right? The world is slowing down. We have to get the momentum back in place, right? They're pump breaking the economy. We're trying to get it back in place. It's going to potentially take 18 months. A vaccine, they say that a vaccine should take about approximately 18 months. So to go to full fledged, we have approximately a year, 2 years of this happening, okay? And things going down. And what does that mean? All these billionaires or people with a lot of money are going to revert to the US. They're going to try to get the US dollar. So as the G20 currencies start to fall, it's like a domino effect, right? They start to fall. Other economies start to do way worse than US. US purchasing power stays the same or increases slightly. Okay, so we're not, it's not crazy right now. But what's going to happen is the United States is still printing. Okay, this is a negative, horrible feedback loop for the other parts of the world, right? People, as the US prints more, it makes their currencies less valuable, right? And as people converge on the US dollar, it makes other currencies less valuable compared to the US dollar, right? It's the world reserve currency. The less workers, the more printing by the government, the more debt. It equals infinite printing. They're doing everything in their power to prop up other sides of the world. In the short term, the United States dollar would do really well, but in the long run, things are going to catch up. The printing is going to be exposed. Wall Street, main traditional investors, people with a lot of money are going to look for alternatives. And this is what I mean by decoupling. This is what I mean by people getting into Bitcoin. It's obviously not only Bitcoin. It's obviously, like, for example, gold and silver. And we can see that they've been doing really well nowadays. Kind of put all of this together, put all the macro conditions together. Like if I come over here to screw.com, it basically shows that, like I said, Bitcoin's outcompeting gold, right? Bitcoin's outcompeting the S&P 500. It's giving better investments. And as people see that and they realize that all the Ponzi scheme propaganda from Bitcoin and people start to wake up, man, my money is really the way to go. Like they're controlling us through money, and people with billions of dollars, they want to park their money somewhere that's safe. And they start to look at Bitcoin, the decoupling of Bitcoin, becoming its own asset class, separating from traditional monetary policy. The United States dollar, I mean, it is the last domino to fall, but people will lose confidence when they start seeing, all of the fake hyperinflation printing, all of this artificial propping up of the economy. When people start to see that, they're going to get scared just like they're scared right now. And when they do get scared, they're going to find a place to park their money. And that's gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Personally, obviously, you guys know I'm a little biased because I love cryptocurrency. But if you want to think about this from a realistic perspective, guys, look, imagine you're a billionaire. Let's say you have $1 billion and you just want to even park, 1%. What's 1% of a billion? I'm probably wrong about this, but 1% of a billion is what, like 100 million? Or that could be 10%. Let's say you want to park even 10 million. Let's say you want to park $10 million, right? Where are you going to put it? You're going to put it in gold? Okay, cool. That's good. It's going to hold your value. Now, let's say you want to go to another country. What are you going to do? You're going to bring gold? You're going to bring big reserves of gold with body. You got to hire a small military to be able to cover $10 million worth of gold, right? That's the whole point about Bitcoin is I can walk across the border with $100 million in my pocket. Nobody will know and will ever be able to get access to it. So I could definitely see Bitcoin being, obviously it's not perfect. There's a lot of flaws in Bitcoin. You can check my other videos for that. I'm not, biased. I give everybody the complete perspective. But what I really want you guys to understand is that there's going to be a change. There's going to be huge change. It's already happening across the world. And we're going to see other countries, the domino effect is going to start. Every currency, all these G-trending currencies, they're all connected and intertwined. And as these economic conditions play out, like I said, for the next 18 months, we're going to start see these currencies fall, just like the Argentinian peso and everything like that. We're seeing it fall right now. And as people converge on the United States dollar and people start getting more dollar, the demand will increase. The debt will increase. They will start printing more, devaluing the currency. People lose faith, and essentially they're going to look for a safe haven. And I'm seeing early signs of this safe haven being cryptocurrency, gold, silver. And, obviously I got to show the new stock to flow model that just came out. This red dot, you guys can see it there. As you can see from the history of Bitcoin, every time we saw that first red dot, later, the rally came. When it comes to cryptocurrency, I would have said that we are going in a bull run regardless of the macro conditions, regardless of the epidemic, regardless of all these riots. I would have already said it. I would have been like, okay, look, we're going to go to 100K Bitcoin in less than 2 years. Now that all of this is playing out, like at the perfect pivotal time, it's literally like there's no better time. Like it's crazy how this was like structured out. Literally the same month or couple of months that the stock to flow model, and you guys know, if you don't know what the Bitcoin halving is, I have other videos for that. Go ahead and refer to them. The same exact time the Bitcoin halving, these macro conditions that we've never seen before ever are playing out. It can't be too perfect, for Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, commodities, gold, silver. It cannot be a better time to reserve your purchasing power, reserve your time, guys. You want to reserve your time because they're taking it from you by printing more and more money. They're bailing out the big banks. They're bailing out big industries. They're giving them more money and giving you less with this little $1,200 stimulus check. They're giving you $1,200 and giving banks millions, billions of dollars. Like, if that doesn't register, I don't know what else does. But of course, I'm not an expert. I'm not an economist. This is simply my opinions. I like to back everything up with facts. Go ahead and do your research. But that's it for this video, guys. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. If you want the streamlined process of getting to the technology, if you want to streamline your learning curve, go to thefundamentalsecrets.com. But that's it for me shilling that. I'm doing them at the end of the video so I don't distract people anymore. That's it for this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.